Welcome to another episode of the Courageous Journey podcast. In this episode, I have the pleasure to have as my guest the incredible, beautiful Gayle. She's a spiritual mentor and she's so powerful and beautiful what she explains, shows, and how she reacts to what's happening around us and in us. She also does something which is very, very interesting. She speaks light language. And this is a gift to you guys. She shares it in this episode with all of us. I hope you enjoy the episode as I did. Gayle, welcome to the Courageous Journey podcast, and thank you for being here, taking the time, and just having a beautiful conversation about what is in what is about to come.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited, brother. And I know that whoever is listening to this is in resonance with the true vibration of love and in their heart. So I'm so grateful to be here connecting with you.
Great having you. So we met a couple of days ago, actually 2 days ago, and we had a great conversation, a great meeting. But I would love that people who listen to this episode learn a little bit more about yourself and who you are. And I would like to start with your story. Like, where does Gail start?
Well, the true embodiment of Gail started when I don't know who that was before, but
I want to hear both.
everybody has that story if they've been on the awakening path of like, this is who I was before and this is who I was after I had my awakening. Some people come into the world already awakened, already embodied, and some of us had to wake up to that. So um before that, I was a mother. I have 4 children, and yeah, we
I
didn't
didn't
talk
know
about that.
that.
Yeah. They're older now.
Wow. Okay. Wait a second. How old are you?
I'm right now currently 41. Yeah.
Wow.
Reaction?
I thought
All
you
the
are I thought you are in my age.
How old are you?
33. I'm in Jesus' age.
That's really funny that you say that because I told myself I'm not aging past 33.
That's
And
incredible.
it, I've had more than 5 or 6 people say, you look 33. And I'm like, oh, it's
I
working.
mean, that's not even a compliment anymore because, guys, if you see her, it's incredible.
Yes.
Wow, great,
It's
great. You need to reveal the secret, but okay.
meditation. And I when I became a Reiki healer, when I got the attunement to Reiki, the more Reiki energy flows through you and the more energy work you're able to channel through you, life force energy, whether you're doing breath work or Tai Chi or whatever practice you're doing to bring more life force energy into you, it can reverse age you. It can heal the cells. It can, the way you eat. I became vegan. And once that happened, I noticed I was reverse aging. So, I mean, everybody needs different kind of nutrients for their
Very
bodies.
interesting.
People
Yeah.
need the meat. But for me personally, I was a Reiki healer and I went to eat a piece of meat and my body rejected it. And from that point on, like I started looking younger. My face is different. I don't even look the same as I did in 2017. I'm completely different all
Wow,
around.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. What a
Yeah. So,
shift.
yeah.
So
What a
what
shift.
you say actually is that before you had another lifestyle and you were
Yeah,
another person,
absolutely.
right?
I did. Yeah. I was uh I was in the fitness industry and I used to teach at the really big name cycling studios like Soul Cycle, and I developed a following, not a following, but a community that would always come to my classes, and that was great. And then I was partners on another cycling studio that I co-owned, and then after that, I was really in the fitness world, like every day working out really hard and teaching classes and way different lifestyle. I was still drinking alcohol on the weekends, going to brunch and like drunk brunching it with friends and having mimosas and stuff like that and just eating whatever I wanted. I wasn't conscious of anything like I am now. Um, and then I had like a spontaneous awakening in 2017.
What does
And
it mean
that's
spontaneous? What does
Spontaneous.
spontaneous mean?
Okay, that's a good question. And I'm actually writing a book about this and it's almost done. about the awakening process and what happens, different kinds of processes people go through, what we go through in the awakening stages. So this kind of awakening happens like out of nowhere. Like it hits you like a ton of bricks. It was like whiplash. I started becoming interested out of nowhere in meditation. And then I had a wonderful teacher named Julie teach me Vedic meditation. And it's very similar to transcendental meditation, where you're given a mantra and the mantra brings you into a state of nothingness and just centered. And once I learned that, I was able to go into this state of like just being in a void. And it was the coolest feeling ever. I had never
How
experienced.
old were you when this
That was
happened?
2017. It's 2025 right now.
Oh, 8 years ago.
Was that 8 years? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe 8, 9 years.
About
So not that long ago.
not that long ago.
Hmm.
And what I mean, I learned a
So
word for this.
33.
Yeah.
33. Look at that.
I never put that together. Thank you for that. Aha.
Another aha moment.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Starting to come together now. So, yeah, I that meditation brought me into the state of the void, and I was like, this is crazy because I like many people that I hear that I work with that come to me for help with this stuff, or they watch my social media stuff on Instagram. I have trouble meditating. I can't quiet my mind. I'll sit for 15 minutes and my mind is racing. I can't meditate. I'm not good at meditating. That was my story. But once I learned how to get into that state, it was like everything changed. And it felt so good. It felt like home that I started meditating for an hour a day. And then that turned into my spontaneous awakening. I went to sleep one night and I went out of my body and I was shown all this electric energy and colors and frequencies moving up my spine. And I was shown an image. It was like an imprinted image. What I know now, it was encoded. But it was a picture, an image of the earth and then another earth here.
Mhm.
I had no idea at the time what it meant. But
Was
that
it
was
scary?
no, it
No, no
wasn't scary.
scary. Not at
I
all.
was confused. I was confused. I was like, what was that? And after that, everything changed. I stopped wanting alcohol. Like I would have a glass of wine. I really loved wine, and I was like, oh, and I would go to eat meat, and I didn't want it. I started tingling in my hands when I would meditate, and then I went and I got an attunement to Reiki energy, and that changed everything for me. I started doing healing sessions on people. I started becoming clairaudient. I would hear clicks and tones in my ears. My ears would get really hot when I would be talking to clients. I didn't realize I was channeling.
Wow.
And the cool thing about it is like I tell everybody else once they get into their mission is think about your life before. Like I was teaching cycling classes and people would cry in my cycling classes. They would come out and say, whatever you said was exactly what I needed to hear. I never realized I was channeling. So we all have always had these gifts, but we just awaken more to the awareness that we have these gifts when we become more conscious of ourselves. So then that's when it all unfolded. It was like very rapid, very quick. And when this happens, this is what my book is about, actually. The process that some people go through is when that happens and you basically your vibration changes, your frequency raises higher, you become a higher bandwidth, a higher frequency, you start to activate your dormant DNA.
Hmm.
And the strands of your DNA that have been disconnected start to reconnect to the correct portals. And when this happens, you change, you shift, you biologically change in your human form as well, because your cells, your molecules, every atom of your being shifts frequency. So when this happens, what you liked before changes, the music you liked before
The
changes,
person you were is not anymore.
it's not the same. That means you're not going to resonate with the same people anymore. So that's when it becomes a very lonely journey, because all of a sudden you don't resonate with your friends anymore, you don't resonate with your partner anymore if it's not aligned, you don't resonate with your job anymore, where you live anymore. Usually this is the case. So
This is
that's
so great that you say that, because I think for everybody who lives up for the first time, it's a very big struggle and the difficulty that they don't know how to handle, maybe. Some people probably do it easier, some people do it a little bit more difficult, or some people struggle and never do that because they are afraid, I can say.
this is
So it's
it.
good
That's
that we have you today here and you can explain how to overcome that.
Yes. And this is why I was guided by the creator to create a book that was very practical when it comes to ascension and awakening, because we do have all of these books and authors and in the spiritual community that you and I are in, about galactic history, about ascended masters, about channeling and different channelings from different beings. But we have enough of that information that we've all ingested at this point. What we need as a collective, especially with the mass awakening that is occurring right now with all the disclosure that's about to happen
Mm.
and hit everybody very hard, what we need to do as a spiritual community is, and I know anyone that's listening to this is about to step into a big mission even more than they already are, is, this is my big message right now, is to teach more about human embodiment and the opportunity in being in the human experience. Because when we awaken, we go up in the upper chakras, we experience the cosmos, we experience all these galactic experiences and ascended masters and guides and ancestors, and we become really connected to the spiritual world because the veil becomes thinner for us. We can perceive differently. But what happens, a lot of people forget to come back in the body and forget that we are in a human experience. And this is the gift that we were gifted to taste this food,
Thank you.
to go to lunch with a friend and spend time with them. We don't have to be talking about spiritual language all the time. We don't have to be, clearing energy and meditating all day long,
Yes.
and listening to gurus all day long. It's simple. Be
This
human.
is, Gail, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is such a great thing that you're saying, because
Yeah.
we had this conversation last time, but on the
Yeah.
meeting. But this is exactly it. So, because it's easy to get lost in the spiritual journey, and
Mhm.
it's easy to crave the new method, the new medicine, the new teaching course, teacher, the journey, whatever.
Yeah.
But it is very important to be here and now and to enjoy, appreciate, and live in the situation you are right now. You
That's
still
it.
can be spiritual, and you don't need to dress a certain way. You don't need
Yeah.
to, it will happen physically, and like, you don't have to
Exactly.
do a lot about it.
That's it. And people overcomplicate it. And what this does is it separates them from their power. They're not connecting into their power. When you talk about be here now, that's what I call the 0 point, where we are in the now. It's in the solar plexus, right above our
Mhm.
belly button, where the masculine and feminine meet. That's the vortex of where our feminine and masculine energies meet. And when we're not in our power, when we're not present, we're in the future, in the past. It doesn't even, we're not in the now moment. When we're in the now moment, that's where the miracle energy is. That's where we can co-create. That's where we can feel how powerful we are. So people feel powerless because they're all caught up in like, what do I need to do next? Do I need to get another healing session? Do I need to um, get certified in this other modality so that
Yes.
I can teach? Like, and these are the clients that I work with in bringing them to empowerment. And then that is it's like a trickle effect or a whatever that word is. I can't think of it. Where it
That's
just
okay.
trickles down. It just trickles down to the next person of empower. Let's empower each other. Let's not put ourselves on a pedestal. Let's not put ourselves above people like we know more. And this is what the big thing is on my heart. And I want to really speak on this is unity consciousness. We are here
Beautiful.
for unity consciousness, unifying, harmonizing in our hearts that we are all one. And when we sit here and we listen to, this is what I've seen happen to my community and my clients that come to me. I'm listening to all these channelers who are channeling these beings, and this person's channeling this, and this person's channeling that. And like they get so caught up in giving so much power to that entity they're channeling, or, all this information they're getting from outside of themselves. They're speaking on it like they're channeling this being. It's no longer we all have access to the same
Yeah.
information.
So you lose the control. You lose the control
Yeah.
because you wait. You're always waiting for something external.
Yes, and you're always looking to this other person for information that comes through them,
Exactly.
and you're not learning or being taught how, or reminded really, on how to access that information within yourself, because we all have access to that
Yes.
information.
Yeah.
And so what's happened is these spiritual teachers will get caught up in these people needing them, and it makes them feel important, or special to be needed in that way for the information that they forget to empower others to access that themselves.
That's so beautiful what you say.
Yeah.
What I say always is the message is important, not the messenger.
That's it. That's it. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
It's the message, and the message is it's we all have access to that message.
yeah, the message is actually love and truth,
It is.
and you have
And
it
it's
inside of you.
balance. It's all about balance. It's all about unity. It's all about harmony. And we're here for karmic balance. So when we do things like this, we separate ourselves more from that unity and we're not creating more karmic balance. And when we are completely karmically balanced, that's when we all ascend.
But Gail, what would you tell to someone that is in that moment, like he can't see the light, he can't see the light, he can't find the way, and he's like, I need the next teaching, I need the next teacher, I need the next travel. Where do you meet this person, and how do you guide this person to that?
Oh, that's such a beautiful question. I've never been asked. And this is what I do every single day. You become a mirror, right? You can't just talk to somebody and expect them to understand, but you meet them where they're at, right? So all these teachers that are like, oh, I'm coming from the 12th dimension and I'm channeling the Arcturians, and the Arcturians are telling me that blah, 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 and let me do this 12th dimensional Arcturian activation on you to change your frequency. And then what happens is when they're done with that session, what now?
Yeah,
What now? Oh, the Arcturians changed my vibration and like blah blah. But like, how do I pay my electric bill?
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Do I need to go do another Arcturian activation?
Maybe he's gonna pay for me.
Maybe they'll fly down and like maybe being they're channeling will help me and start praying to that being and like oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
So I've never resonated with any of that. Like, listen, I channel different energies. Like, for instance, the violet flame is a big thing that comes through me to teach humanity about the violet flame. And I'm not telling people that I'm channeling certain beings or I am embodying certain beings or entities because I don't want anyone to get focused on that. I'm just Gayle. I'm the bougie healer. And I'm here to remind you how powerful you are. That's it.
that's so
Why would
beautiful.
I need to rely on this other source to tell people so that they'll listen to me? We don't
Yeah.
need that anymore.
Yes, and
We don't
people get scared oftentimes, you know. You don't need to use fancy terms. That's
no
okay.
fancy
They
terms. We don't need to rely on, oh, I'm having a meeting with the Galactic Federation on Tuesday and you guys can join me and I'll get all the information for you. We don't, how is that helping anybody anymore?
yeah,
I
yeah.
There's no judgment. Everybody's doing exactly what they're meant to be doing here. There's no judgment. We're all part doing our job exactly the way that we're here to do it. But there's another level now that people can access, which is, oh, I have all this information too. I don't need to be watching this person talk about it because they have more power than I do. This is about empowering ourselves and each other to access the same information, which is unity consciousness, and it's heaven on earth, and it's being co-created through all of us by ascending and awakening to what we came here to do, which is create the new earth with each other.
Yeah, and the new earth is actually a frequency, a vibration that you create from. And
Yes.
like heaven is not a place, it's a state of being, but it's gonna become a place while you become that. While
Yeah,
you
it's like when you talk about the fifth dimension, it's not a place. People tend to think of it as like, oh, it's a place. I'm going to the fifth dimension. It is a state of consciousness. It's a different perception. So we all are receiving these transmissions that are reminders and activators of what the memories are within us of Lemuria, Atlantis, these ancient civilizations that we're bringing back, the new Lemuria, the new Atlantis through us. And when we receive this information, we're going to have these old patterns come up. And this is the process we're in right now of our old programs that we've been deep, deep, deep programmed with from past lives, from when we were in these ancient civilizations, the fall of Lemuria, the fall of Atlantis, we've been through a lot of trauma and we hold it in our DNA and we're clearing it all right now. So all the deep programs that we've been in this energetic slavery and control that we've been in here on Earth is coming up for us right now, and the energies are increasing. As you see me post all the time about the Schumann resonance, and the sun and the solar energies from the great central sun are coming in to activate our DNA. And when this happens, we're starting to ascend to higher perceptions. So we're not going to a place, we are ascending to a different perception where
Yeah.
we're able to perceive beyond that veil of illusion that we've been in.
That's so great. Yeah. And you see, I mean, but it's happening, so many things happening around us, and people,
Yes,
it's great, but because people are getting like, whoever wants to find their light will find their light, but a lot
that's
of
it.
people are lost, and that's normal especially in a time like that. People gonna
Yeah.
get lost very quickly.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that is like, we don't need to control the process of awakening for anyone because when you awaken, it's like this. I like to say it like this. I found a really cool island. You guys should all come check it out with me. It's got this, it's got that. They cannot understand you.
Yeah.
They don't want to understand you. And that's when people get frustrated. You can't pull everybody along with you on this island. You have to let everybody go on their own path for their own karmic balance.
It doesn't matter how much you love and care about them.
And that's
That's
the hard part.
that I
That's
wanted to
the
say that. Yeah.
hardest part
That's the hardest
because
part. Yeah.
it is. And
And
I
you
have a lot,
know how good it is because you have experienced it, and you're like, please, just try, and they are like, no.
they can't hear you.
Yeah, they
They
can't hear you.
literally, because they cannot perceive what you can perceive. Imagine, I always like to remind people, because this is the hardest thing people go through on this path of ascension, is accepting that your mother, your father, whoever, your partner, they're going to think you're absolutely a nut job and you're crazy. If they're not resonating with this, if they're not open to hearing you or learning who you are now. And that becomes a very lonely path. And that is what, me sitting here telling everybody I'm channeling this being, I'm channeling that being, I'm in I'm a Pleiadian. All of these things is not helping them. What's helping them is saying, I understand that there are suicidal thoughts that happen on the ascension path. I understand how alone it feels. Even if you have friends that are awakened, it's still a very lonely path because nobody can understand what you specifically are going through. And it can feel really isolating. And we need to be talking about this.
Yeah, and there will be a lot of resistance, not only from others, but also from your internal state. And sometimes you ask yourself, is that actually real? Should I continue? And that's the moments where the, let's call that, the devil will talk to you and
Yeah.
will want to pull you back.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, you said it. And I know someone hearing this is going to be like, oh, yeah, maybe somebody's in that place right now. And we're bringing awareness to
Yeah.
that. Even one person, how grateful can we be for that? Because I know that it's easy. I have seen it. I have seen it happen where I've had people that I've worked with in this like healing stuff go super like hardcore in it, and everything is they're going down the rabbit hole, like hardcore, like they're talking about it every day, and all of a sudden they can't make money, they can't figure out how to balance the human experience with the spiritual awakening that happens, and all of a sudden like they're so stressed out, they're like, F this spirituality, I'm gonna go on another path now,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
I'm gonna go
or
back. I'm gonna go back.
then they go back, or they become, I'm not even going to talk about religion, but then they go to a different religion or a different, area of, and they get obsessive over it and forget to balance the entire experience and to become
Yeah.
separate again. So this is why it's so important to start being human again. Let's in the spiritual community, let's start talking about being human more.
Thank
Can
you.
we do
Yeah,
Can we?
we
Because
should actually.
that's what's going to help everybody the most. Okay. We already have enough information out there about all these other things in the
Everything.
spiritual.
AI gonna tell us everything already. We don't need
Yeah.
anybody anymore.
Right. Can we please focus on how it is such a beautiful opportunity and a gift to be human and what we experience as humans ascending?
Thank you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to talk about this more. It is isolating. It is depressing at times. It does create anxieties. It does allow you to feel the trauma and the emotion that you've experienced in all of these lifetimes. But how beautiful. Can we remind people how beautiful it is to experience emotion?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah,
difference between feeling heartbroken and then falling in love. That feeling, that emotion, that's a human experience that higher dimensional beings that we all talk about channeling and all of these things don't experience anymore. Once you ascend, you don't experience emotions and duality in that way. So how beautiful is it that we get to experience that duality of emotion?
yeah,
Like, let's just start there and be grateful for that. And
yeah,
then we can feel so like distraught that we're experiencing these emotions.
yeah. It's interesting because it's we have to have acceptance and understanding with with those people, because once the old self is dying, that's a critical moment where everything gets like the old world breaks, and then you need to develop new ways and to learn about from yourself in new ways and what it is to be this new person. And as you said before, you start losing friends that you thought they're gonna be there forever. You start losing, first of all, you lose yourself, then you lose friends, then you lose, maybe you lose family members, or even you lose your so loved relationship to your partner.
That's a big one. That's a very
Exactly.
big, and that's the hardest part because the people closest to you, for them to call you crazy, for them to call you this and that and say like you're completely Looney Tunes. Like that's the hardest thing for a lot of us to accept because, the person that you think that loves you and cares about you and has been with you is all of a sudden just not seeing you.
Yeah.
It's like the hardest thing to accept, but that is the biggest mirror. The people closest to you are a mirror for you in what you can move through yourself. So if you're torn up about it, if you're depressed about it, there's something that's being shown to you that you're not accepting about yourself and setting those energetic boundaries for yourself to move into your empowerment and let go of
Power.
needing that person. The biggest thing that I help people move through when it comes to this, and I think this will be useful for someone hearing this, is to let go of the attachment of needing them to even see you or understand you.
And Gail, I think what you just said, once you go through this journey, you understand that naturally,
Mhm.
that you are in control and you actually don't need those people. You know, if
You
they
don't
want,
need anyone. You really what it's beneficial to do is to embody. And that means to love yourself so much and accept yourself so much that you are whole and complete and you don't need anyone to understand you. You
oh,
just go
beautiful.
forward in your truth and what God is showing you to do. The creator is moving through you and you're co-creating with the universe and you're on your mission in that. And that's all you need to know.
And life becomes so much easier
Oh my
because
God.
you don't need to control everything.
That's it. That is right there. You said it. You nailed it. That is where people create their own suffering, is they're trying to control. They're trying to make things happen on their own. And this is when I say you need to drop on your knees and say to the co-creator, like, I'm done doing it my way.
Yeah,
This is what I do.
beautiful.
I'm done doing it my way. Okay, show me.
Take
Work
over.
for me. I surrender. I allow you to work through me as a vessel and a conduit for the highest good of all involved. Okay, it's your turn to show me the way now.
What
Like,
was for you the one of the most difficult things to let go or to accept in that journey
um,
in the beginning?
the that most difficult thing is to number one, when you have children and you want to teach them these things, to accept that they might not want to hear them or understand them, and that will happen whenever it's meant to happen. And in a relationship, had to leave a relationship because of it. And I am very, very much focused on my mission and embodying like what I'm supposed to be doing here on my own, and that's important to me. And if someone's not in resonance with that, it's okay to let that go. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. And that was the hardest thing for me, to be in a relationship, to be awakening to myself, and to not be seen and to be called crazy. So that is what a lot of people go through. And it's the hardest thing because then you learn that you really sometimes have to walk this path alone. And that's what I tell people all the time. Be okay with walking this alone, because we're not really alone, of course. We have all
Thank
this
you.
higher dimensional help, But like most of us as leaders and guides have to walk it alone because we have a unique blueprint that no one else is going to understand. And we need to let go of needing anyone to understand it or wanting that even that
And the
desire for someone to see you.
exactly, and the people who will support you, you're gonna find them on the way. Once you do the
Absolutely.
first step, the way gonna appear.
Yes. Yes, that's it.
Because we
And
overthink it before. We overthink it before, like how will I get there? What are the steps? Just do one step. Just do
yeah,
something.
that's it. One step at a time, but also trust yourself enough to take that step, whatever it is that you want to do. Because here's where everybody holds themselves back and goes backwards. They are afraid to look crazy to other people. They are afraid, like when I start talking about aliens, oh my gosh, did I get made fun of? And I still do behind my back. Um, oh, I talk to aliens and all this stuff. No, I don't really care what anybody thinks. I have
Yeah.
my own experience and my truth is my truth, and whoever's going to resonate is going to resonate. And I have let go of caring. And I think that's where a lot of people hold themselves back. They're worried about how people will see them. They're worried about the people closest to them, calling them crazy and not
And I
wanting to
have a
be
question
anymore.
here, Gail. I have a
Yeah,
question here. I'm sorry. So,
yeah, please.
because everybody's judging so quickly and says, oh, they are crazy and the spiritual people and whatever, and they do weird stuff. But I'm asking this. Usually, the majority of the spiritual people who don't need to show anything off, look at their skin, look at their physiology. Like they look healthy, right? Why is
Yeah.
that? Is that because they are super stressed? Is that because they eat bullshit? Is that because they have a job and they are not happy in their life even if they're making money? Who is
Mhm.
crazy? Is it these people, or is it the people who are fat and who look 10 years older than they actually are, and they are super stressed and they are like money, 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 and they are not happy at all?
Money, money, money. They're
Who
wrong.
is more crazy? That's my question. Like health
And
or
that's it. That's it right there because it's always a projection. Those people are always projecting themselves. And what it is like what are their vices? What are they relying on to make themselves feel good or complete? And it's always like people like us who want to really come out with our truth and express our authenticity are afraid of what projections will come their way. But we need to remember that those people, whatever they're going to call you, whatever they're going to say about you, they're just projecting themselves. And we just need to let go of all of that because we are pioneers. And a pioneer has to go in a direction that no one's ever gone in
the
before.
hero's journey? I love it. The
Yes.
hero.
We're
And you
here to
know, I had
pioneer.
a really hard time with that. I had a really hard time to express my truth, even if it was inside of me. And it was
That's
last year that I received the message that, look, go for it. It's
That's
okay.
it.
People gonna
You
judge
for
anyway.
it.
People gonna judge anyway. People gonna look, point with the finger anyway. Do what feels good for you and support and help and do good. Do good and speak your truth out loud. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm not afraid anymore for about
Yeah,
anything.
baby. That's it. And I hope this inspires at least one person to speak their truth. And that's what's really happening now is a collective throat opening, a throat chakra opening, where everything that we've held in to make others comfortable, we're clearing that right now. Where we're learning how to become confident in our own expression. And that allows us to be more present in our life and empower ourselves to get on our mission.
Yeah, set boundaries easier, and that's a big one for many people. Like, how do I set boundaries? First of all, understanding who you are, and like, of course, you have to let go of fears and the stuff that's holding you back in your belly and in your heart. And then once you do this work, and this requires work, like you have to do some work. It can be breathing, it can be meditating, it can be just being alone for some time. That's okay, but
You have to
it's
really go.
inevitable. It's inevitable. You have to do the work somehow.
Yeah, and
And the
people say
work,
like shadow work, whatever, it is work. And
oof,
it's feeling basically the work word is the feeling uncomfortable part.
yes, thank you.
Because this is where most people who are not wanting to become aware of themselves more distract themselves with drugs, alcohol, vices, food, whatever it is, to not have to feel that uncomfortable feeling, to not have to feel alone, right? To always need people around, whatever that is. There's something there that needs to be felt that a lot of people distract themselves from feeling.
Yeah.
And that is the work that you're talking about, is being depressed, being alone, feeling how hard this is, going into the darkest parts of yourself and allowing it to be felt fully so it
Yeah.
can be alchemized.
Gail,
And
I remember when I was depressed, this was 2019, 2020. And I remember being on the bed, laying on the bed, having my arms stretched, and I couldn't even lift my arm. I didn't have power. Like it
wow.
was incredible. I remember saying, God, I know it feels incredible, uncomfortable, and it hurts. But I was so thankful. I was like, but I know, thank you, I know that this is gonna bring me somewhere that I need to be. I was feeling it, even if it was feeling like shit and it was feeling like very uncomfortable. I still had the awareness to say that, thank you, I know I need to go through that, and this
Yeah.
was good. And then because people, when they are in these positions, they don't know what to do, and I have three pillars that really help, and if you start doing them just a week, you're gonna see a whole difference. Do some sort of exercise. It can be yoga, it can be fitness, it can be dancing, it can be swimming. Do something, move your body, doesn't matter how. Do it the way you like. Do one of them, then do meditation in the way you like. Listen music, read a book, sit on a stone if you like, if you think this is it meditation, or just talk or listen, meditate on that, or go to nature. And the third part is nutrition. People say, yeah, but I like, no, 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 no. Nutrition. Heal your temple, heal your church, call it whatever you want. You live in that. If this is like, imagine the sink, you open the water. If this is like dirty and with things inside, the water will come out dirty. But
Mm,
if this is clean and everything there is like crystal clear, that's what you're gonna drink from. So
yeah.
do the same with your body.
And the way you feel will be so different through this ascension
Give
process.
it 1 week. I mean, you don't
Are
gonna.
you are you writing a book about this or what?
Should I think? I mean, you definitely
You
wrote one. You're almost done. You said, right?
Yeah, well, we need yours next, okay? And this is me challenging Alexandros to write his book.
Thank you. I should. Thank you. You told me that last time. I will. I will.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like we all have so many important messages
We do.
and so many codes. And
And
thank
we
you.
are important because
We are important. And all
yes,
of us have something to share, and we don't need to prepare anything else to share it. Just share it now. That's what you did. That's what I'm doing. And I hope that inspires somebody. But those pillars that you just spoke of are human embodiment pillars. And thank you for saying that, because these are the teachings we need to be teaching right now. How to be human, exercise your body. Right? I know so many people that channel and they have become so heavy because they're not taking care of their human. And it's just that's protection energy. When you gain weight, when you put fat on your body, it is protection energy. What are you eating? What are you putting in your temple? What are you moving your temple like? Right. And this
yeah.
helps us reverse age. This helps our ascension process move the energy. When you do yoga and you do yoga poses and different stretches, that's sacred geometry. That's that's activating energy within you. Dancing, ecstatic dancing is amazing for energy movement. I love it. So, yeah, there are things that we, even as spiritual teachers and guides, forget to make an importance and priority of being the human, because this is the only avatar that we have to take us through this ascension process. And taking care of it like that can change the way you're feeling. It can dissolve anxiety, depression. It can dissolve the way that you're feeling and going through the darkness, and it can help you raise your vibration, literally raise your frequency. So those things that you said, thank you for that, because those are pillars. Those are so important. I think they're number one really in how you're going to feel in this process.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
It doesn't matter if you meditate 5 hours a day. If you're not eating right, exercising, and you're not doing these things that you're talking about, hydrating, getting water codes, you're not going to feel as good as you could and raise your
Do
vibration
just
as high
a
as you can.
little bit, just a little bit of every single one a day. Like do a
That's it.
little bit of exercise, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, do a little bit
That's
of
it.
reading, journaling, whatever, meditation, do a little bit of good food, like not a little bit more than normal, but do that every day
A little bit.
continuously for a week and
Gonna see
text
the
us and text us.
okay, I need you to write this book. I need you to create this program. Okay? You're going
This
to create a
this is
program
this is in
for your
process.
pillars. You're
Yeah.
gonna do that. And people can do your program with your pillars. You guys hear that? Sign up for his program because by the time you're watching it, it will be open for booking. One-on-one
Okay.
coaching with Alexandros about how to embody in your
I need to hire you, Gail, for my promoter. You're
This is
great.
what I do. I empower people to be on their mission.
That's so wonderful. Ah.
We'll get you an order.
When is actually your book coming out? Do you know that?
Well, very soon because I was just asked to go to London for a show that's being filmed.
Mm,
And all of these things that are uh, I am about to push go on will allow my platform to expand to more people. And it's given me the inspiration to hurry up and finish this book so that I can get this information out to more people. And so that gave me a little push, me going to London and filming the show, because a lot of people are going to see this. And that will give me the opportunity to get this information out more. It's like the beginning of getting the information out
mm.
that's ready to get out.
What show are we talking about?
Oh, I can't really talk about it
Ah,
yet.
okay, okay,
So wait
okay.
until because it has, can't until it airs.
Okay, I got you, I got you.
Yeah, but it's like everything is about to change. Like the teachers are going to be changing places now. The teachers of the true embodiment of the human experience, and um everyone who's been kind of hiding in the closet or hiding out in the background in the backdrop is about to step forward and get the light shine on them, as long as they're willing to step into their mission and trust it and surrender to it. The light will be shine on the true teachers now, and the opportunities will be magnetized, and we have to focus on our perception of that becoming a reality. That's what we need to be doing. I am willing to perceive this as my new reality now, that the information is going to get out to millions of people, and this is what I'm going to trust in the process in of let's empower everyone on this path to awaken to their mission. and
That's so
and
beautiful.
yeah, so
Do
like
you
that's what we should be doing.
do you have to share a message for the people for the short future that is coming?
Oh, do I have a message for people?
Would you like to share something?
Yes.
Please.
Everything is going to change very, very quickly now. Things that we've been talking about in our community, in the spiritual community, that are going to happen are happening now. We're living in the age of Aquarius,
What does that
right?
mean?
That means that we are now ascending into a higher dimensional state of consciousness, that we are shifting into the golden age, which is heaven on earth. We're working in unison, we're harmonizing, we're co-creating a beautiful earth that is ascending. The earth is ascending into a higher vibration. And the heaven frequency is the fifth dimension. And this is where there's love, there's peace, there's compassion, there's these beautiful things that we are co-creating in that higher state of consciousness. That's what we're shifting into now. And that's why, as the sun brings in more light into our bodies, it's activating our dormant DNA, and our 12-strand DNA is reconnecting right now. And we are activating all of our spiritual gifts and our abilities, which will allow our perception of reality to shift into the new earth. And that's the thing that we're going through right now, is working on perceiving what's already available to us. When you hear people out there saying, oh, we just entered the fifth dimensional energy, we've been in the fifth dimensional energy. The grid has been here for a very long time. We just haven't been able to perceive it. But
Hmm.
now what's happening is our ability to perceive it is unfolding. And so the message that I would bring is to allow yourself to be in your body, allow yourself to embody your human experience and see the beauty and have the gratitude and become present in it every single day, and surrender to the process and trust the
Ooh,
process that we're in.
surrender is a big one.
Surrender. And it's not easy to do because we're so programmed to control our life and create resistance for ourselves and
Yeah, and
feel
if you start surrendering, people think you actually are are crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, because you don't follow the norm. Like
You're
you
not
don't.
following the program of the
Yeah,
matrix.
yeah.
We have exited the matrix, and it's
Ooh.
a new way of being that we have to surrender to. Here's what's hard for people to understand. You want something, but when you want something, that means you don't believe you already have it. Right? So if you have something on your heart that you want to experience, you have to shift into the belief and the knowing that you're already experiencing it, and then you're going to experience it. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's foolproof. It's foolproof. I've done it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
these are the codes that I'm teaching now. You have to know, I know that I'm going to have a huge platform.
yeah.
I know that I already have millions of people listening to my
Become
thing.
it. Become it.
I am that,
Yeah, enter
Because-
this vibration, and then
yeah,
everything your surrounding changes. The people come to you from nowhere, out of nowhere,
literally,
and
literally.
situations
I, it's
like
crazy.
occur, situations occur, and synchronicities happen, and you're asking yourself like, how is that possible?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Right?
because you
And
let go.
that's where we need to stop right there. When the mind comes in, how is this happening? How can this be my reality? I don't need to know how. I don't need to know how
Exactly.
it's happening. I don't need to know how I got here. All I need to know is that it's happening and I'm grateful. And
Ooh,
this is my power that
hallelujah.
I have, is to perceive that this is an available reality to me now. So
It
the
is.
Divine Mother gave me this transmission, and it was so powerful. And she took me into this realm where I could see all the new frequencies. They were blue, they were pink, they were all over us. And I could see, she showed me the new grid, and not the new grid, but the grid that's in place already, that's been there. And we each had these codes. It was like a cone, and it was encoded, and it had all these codes underneath us. And the message she gave me was that these are the codes that you all have underneath you in this grid, supporting you. This is your support. You have everything you need. You have all the resources. Say it's money that we desire, it's already there. It's coming in the form of miracles. But she said, what you have to do now is every one of you needs to learn how to perceive what's already available to you. And that's the work.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And she said, like it says, the message I
But
got,
who is the divine mother? Who are you talking about?
this is the divine feminine. This is the words that came to me when the sky opened up, and this, it was wild experience
Mhm.
here in Mount Shasta, is basically the divine cosmic mother. So this feminine in energy here in creation, that is the divine feminine. And so this is this beautiful energy that is part of creation, basically. And the feminine energy that we all embody, of the threefold flame. We have the masculine energy, the feminine energy, and the God flame. And we become unified with that energy.
Mm,
What's happening right now is the feminine energy is balancing out on the earth, and we all know about how it's been distorted and imbalanced. So
of
what's
course.
happening, we're balancing it all on the earth and within us to create balance and harmony. But the transmission that I really got out of all of that is, think about this. This is what Divine Mother said to me was, imagine what you guys have a hard time perceiving. You and I are super conscious. We still have a hard time perceiving what's actually available to us because we're so deeply programmed still. Even if we've been awake our whole life, we still have a hard time perceiving how powerful we actually are because we're so
Yeah,
deeply programmed.
yeah.
And we're still working through those
And we
programs.
still questioning so many times ourselves. That's so normal.
That's it. So imagine how we still have those resistances. Imagine people that are just going to be waking up,
Yeah.
how much of a shock to the system it's going to be. So they're giving us these frequencies and light doses, in doses basically, with the sun and the way that we're experiencing the ascension, because we go through these contractions and expansions. And if they gave us all of this light and all of this frequency all at once, our body couldn't handle it, our mind couldn't handle it. It would be too much. So they told me they're going to keep giving us these energies in doses, and then we have to integrate ourselves. And it's a step process. We go in these steps. So when I talk about ascension energies and contractions that we're going through, this is the process of ascension symptoms we experience because our body has to purge energy when we go through it and
Yeah.
contract. We have to purge emotions. We have to purge patterns. We have to purge physical energy. So we
Yes.
go through this contraction, expansion. And that is why what you said is so important, is for us to take care of those pillars while we're going through all of this. Do you see how
Yeah.
important your book is now and your program?
Ooh, look, you're gonna be in London, right?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, we are not far away. So I gonna come. We're gonna do two promotions, like yours and
That's
mine.
it. You gotta get started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there's there's one more thing I would like to talk with you about, and it's the light language, the
Mm.
warriors of light, and the light language you're using. I told you last time I saw that in one of your videos, and I immediately felt like goosebumps all over my body, and I felt something like it was incredible. Like, would you like to share a little bit with the people who don't really know what light language is, and how did it come to you, and how do you use that?
I'm so glad you asked that because I feel like I need to speak on this more because a lot of people say, actually, like everyone who watches my light language transmissions feels what you're feeling, like goosebumps, like there's something happening. And I teach people how to channel light language. I teach people how to activate their light language. And what it is number one, there are people out there teaching that this is a new technology. It's not a new technology. It's an ancient technology that we have. It is your soul language that you've always had in all of your lifetimes before you came to this human experience. It could be connected to your star system, the last experience that you had when in the cosmos, wherever you're from originally. So it's part of that and your ancestry, and it can be channeled through and you don't even know what it means sometimes, and sometimes you know exactly what the meaning of it is. And it's also a technology. Like it can heal you, it can heal
Mm,
others, it can change the frequency in a room, it can clear entity attachments, it can help you with manifestation. When sometimes when you can't get a clear message from your guidance, if you channel light language, you're going to get some codes. And when I channel light language for others, it's activating something, it's opening up an energy center, it's activating energy to move, it's activating a memory in the DNA.
how does it feel for
Mhm,
you, and how does it feel for them?
mhm. For me, it feels incredibly high frequency, and I'll hear tones and vibrations in my ears, beep, and it's just information coming through me. And what I've learned with light language, and here's another thing, light language does not have to be spoken, it can be painted, it can
Mm,
be danced, it can be sung, it can be played on an instrument, it can be moved in whatever way wants to be moved through the vessel.
interesting. Hmm.
Yeah. So when you see people moving like this, they're doing light language and some people don't even realize it.
I
And
see.
and you're moving energy, and like this is a way also to move energy. The first time I ever channeled light language, I would walk outside and I would speak with the trees in light language. And I
Wow.
would feel myself communicating with those trees because what it also does is it takes your mind out of making sense of words so you can really connect that consciousness without needing to think about words. On the masculine energy is the brain and the thinking, and the feminine energy is the emotion. It tunes you more into the heart, where you're not having to use that masculine energy anymore. You're in your feminine energy, just channeling whatever feels like it wants to come through. And people have a hard time activating their light language because they're so worried about what it's going to sound like or how it needs to come out, but I teach people how to just let it come out and let it roll off of your tongue and see what happens. And a lot of
Hmm.
people are like, well, I want to know what I'm saying. I want to know what I'm channeling. And I tell people to get out of their own way and just get the sounds out first of what wants to come through. Let the tones, the frequencies come through. If you're talking it or you're moving your hands, just move, go, whatever wants to come through and
Yeah,
activate.
allow it.
Just allow it. It's something that is unseen that you can trust and you can move through you, and it helps you become a greater channel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's so
It's
beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everybody, I know everybody has access to their light language. They just need to learn how to become more confident in channeling it through, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
So whoever wants to learn that language, hit Gayle up. She would love to teach you.
Yeah, I want to help you remember. And here's another thing I would like to say. I think somebody probably would need to hear this that's listening, is that you do not need to be attuned to certain types of light language and certain lineages and star systems. You have your soul language within you, and it can unfold in different ways. You don't have to be attuned. However, when you listen to somebody else's light language, it might activate yours. And that's what happened for me. And that can
Interesting.
be considered an attunement, right?
Hmm.
But like, I don't need to go to some person that tells me I'm going to attune you to Arcturian light language, or I'm going to attune you to this. All you need to do is listen to it, whatever that is, connect with it through your own soul, have the intention to connect with that star system or whatever you want to channel through. And you have the ability to have direct access to it. You just have to trust yourself.
Wow. Thank you so much, Gail.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything else you would like to share?
I just feel like it's really important for everyone to now unplug from all the things that you've been doing in your spiritual work. Maybe stop watching all the channeling for a moment, stop reading all of the books for a moment, unplug from doing healing sessions or whatever it is that you're doing, and take 7 days total, a week to just be and see how you feel after that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to get some more information, some more clarity, and learn how to access all that information now yourself.
Come
And I
back to
just feel
yourself.
great here.
Yeah. Just
Mhm.
start listening to yourself again.
Yeah,
You're strong enough. You will find the way. That's fine.
that's it. Be human.
Yeah.
Let's be human.
Wow. Wow. Gail, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure and a beautiful conversation. I loved it. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And I would like to offer like a 1 minute light transmission if you would allow that.
2 minutes, you like, go for it. I would love it.
Let's do it. Okay, let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath into the heart, and we're calling upon a beautiful white light to surround us. And we're only connecting with beings of the highest light for our highest good. Just taking a deep breath into the heart and allowing whatever's meant to be to receive the codes that are in our highest alignment for our highest good. Gratitude to our guides, our ancestors, the family of light, the ascended masters, and all the beings that support us on our ascension. Thank you for being here. And we allow the violet flame to move through every cell, molecule, and particle of our being to allow this flame of freedom to transmute, dissolve anything that is out of balance or harmony, and allow to alchemize into a beautiful energy of love, freedom, liberty, and all the beautiful energies of unity consciousness and the new earth. Taking a breath into the heart. Tiestana ukur amayastana iatur amakiastana ikiana urkuya ma atiastana urkuya e ana hakur ama atikiastaya ur ama hatiki anakur kuyama akur hatikiana ikia ur akistana aki anakuraha easta ur hakiana ayasta. E akiasta kia no urka ana hatiasta. E kia ma orko ya ma atiasta na hakia. U ama hatiasta na haya. Taking a deep breath in and grounding down through energetic roots through the soles of your feet, down through the crystal grids of the earth, connecting you to the inner earth and our beautiful family in the inner earth, down into our mother, the divine feminine, and breathing her golden green energy up through the soles of your feet, allowing her to nurture you, hold you, support you, allow you to create your own support system within you so that you are no longer relying on these external sources to bring you what you already have inside, to allow you to perceive differently now and invite this new perception to unfold, unwind in your heart, and allow you to trust the unknown, to trust the unfolding of the now, the present moment, the 0 point field. Just take a breath into your body and allow it to relax into this 0 point energy right above your belly button, and breathe into that inner golden sun within you that is expanding, allowing you to let go of all control and that mental energy balancing with the heart and breathing into the threefold flame in your heart of your divine masculine, your divine feminine, and the God flame within, and creating unity with these energies, the divine union within you is whole, complete, and the love that you embody is what you're bringing through your life into the earth. And we anchor our commitment of the light that we're bringing into the earth now through us as the pillars of light. As above, so below. We are the rainbow bridges bringing in the new earth through us. And we are so grateful for this human experience. Thank you, Creator, for allowing us to be human at this very important time of the earth's ascension. We are so grateful for all the blessings and miracles that are flowing into our life to support our mission as we co create the new earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May this be for the highest good of humanity and to all involved for our highest good of all and our highest alignment. And so it is.
Thank you so much.
I
Okay. Wow.
just thought I'd throw that in there.
Wow. Thank you so much. Gail, much love.